Michael, this chair is normally reserved for either Eli Manning or all the different athletes that we have come through with Steiner Sports, but you know, every now and then you gotta get a little Caddyshack in the mix.
And it's a privilege, man. If Eli was here, I feel honored.
Well, I can't tell you that I watched the movie, rewatched, because obviously everyone has seen it so many times. I watched it again yesterday, and just such a classic, so amazing, so iconic. And we were talking earlier about, you know, Harold Ramos passing away.
Yeah.
And just to have you here and to see the Caddyshack flags and the pins and the golf balls, and it was just so far ahead of anybody's time. And just what's a couple thoughts, you know, here seeing these things and, you know, signing some flags. And
well, you know, it's an interesting time to reflect on the film because of Harold passing, you know, and he was probably, I wouldn't say he was the most important person on the movie, but he was the one who really made the mix happen. He was the one who saw how you could take talents like Bill Murray and Chevy Chase and blend them together with Rodney Dangerfield and Ted Knight and come up with his own version of the Marx Brothers. So, you know, I loved him. He was affable, smart, reliable, stable. That's so important too, you know, for a director to be really stable with actors before they go on camera. He was just a man, you know, so it takes me back. It's a lot of you know, great memories. It's like another era now. I think it's over 35 years now.
it's incredible. Also, you have not slowed down at all. Just last week you're on Broadway, and just so many things. What have been some of the things that are memorable for you since that?
Well, you know, I just did this play that Steven Soderbergh directed, and you probably know his films like Ocean 13, Ocean 11, Ocean 12, all that, Traffic. And he did his first play in New York, and I was privileged to get a shot at doing that. That was a lot of fun. He turns out to be like one of the funniest guys I've ever met.
Wow.
Which you wouldn't think off the top of your head, but he's kind of crazy, kind of a goofball. And the topic was pretty heavy. It was about the aftermath of a school shooting. So to have somebody like him deal with that topic, it made it a lot easier to kind of wade into it because we weren't overemphasizing the kind of heavy nature of the piece a lot because he liked to keep it light, which took the edge off, you know. So that was really a cool thing.
We're 9 weeks. There's so much going on in that movie. I mean, between the boat and the explosions and Bill Murray, and
Yeah.
how do you put that into?
You mean 9 weeks of filming,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
How do you put that into 9 weeks of filming?
You know, you just have to kind of like get up really early and keep filming until the sun goes down. Or if you're going to do a night scene, you're going to go to work at 4 in the morning and keep filming until the sun comes up. And you get so excited about doing it and about the creativity of it. And if you're having fun with the people, it kind of flies by, you know, and you end up bonding. And it's almost like even though you're only with them for 9 weeks, you might as well have gone to college with them or something. You know what I mean? Because you bond that intensely, and you're that close. Like when you see them again 10 years later, 15 years later, you kind of pick up where you left off.
So it's like a fraternity. So it's almost, in a sense,
It is.
like a football team that won the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
or like the '96 Yankees. And I just have to ask us, I know you're from the area, the retirement of Derek Jeter.
Well, you know, it's the end of an era. The end of an era. We were talking earlier about our fathers, you know, and my dad grew up in the Bronx, and he was a huge Yankee fan. And he passed about 8 years ago, and we used to talk about the Yankees a lot, especially towards the end, because it was a topic he felt comfortable getting into. And for him, you know, he said Derek Jeter's the last real Yankee, you know, and
Wow.
in a way, you know, it's a whole new era now without him.
That's incredible. Once again, just to have you up here is really a thrill for us. I think to meet you, I'm sure so many people would like to meet you, and we just have so many great items that people are going to have, and they're just going to be able to remember Caddyshack, rewatch it. And it just leads me, is there a time where, you know, you have a young son now? Is there a time where he's like 10 years old and you're going to wheel that out and say,
I don't know if a 10-year-old's ready for Caddyshack, you know, but maybe. I'm just going to kind of play that stuff by ear. Yeah, you know, I'm a new dad. I have a 17-month-old boy, and I think one of the coolest things for me that I think about a lot as I get to know him and rear him, you know, is that there are things I want to introduce him to, like books or art, you know, and film is such a big part of my life, you know. I can't wait to show him my favorite films, and probably one day, you know, I'll just kind of slip Caddyshack in there, not say too much about it, see if he figures out who Danny Noonan is or not. You know?
Okay. Can I say thank you, Noonan? Is
Please.
that fine?
Please.
Thank you, Noonan.
Be the ball, Steve.
Okay. Yeah.